I chose to practice law because I wanted to have a more tangible effect on the people in my community. Before I went to law school, I was in the sciences. And during graduate school, doing research in a lab, I didn't feel like the work that I was doing had a positive effect on the people around me that I could see. And so I decided to go to law school to help people in my community and to be able to see the effect that I was having in my community. The types of services I provide to my clients are civil litigation services. I'm a civil litigator, which means when people come to see me, usually means that they're involved in a dispute. So whether that is a plaintiff that comes to me because they have a claim to make based on a contract or a claim against their neighbor, I support them in a lawsuit and going through the court process of establishing their claim against a defendant. If someone is sued and they don't know what to do, they come to me. I draft them a defense, which is the document that we use to defend a lawsuit. And after that time, I support the clients through any motions that are involved, mediations, going to court, and ultimately I represent my clients at a trial in front of a judge. My job at the end of the day is to resolve ongoing disputes between parties. My favorite thing about practicing law is going to court. When I was in law school, I knew that the kind of law I wanted to practice was going to see me being in a courtroom. I like the idea of standing in front of a judge, making arguments, pleading my client's case. During the COVID-19 pandemic, it's been a little bit different, and we do a lot online, but I think that that's the way the industry is moving. So whether it's in a courtroom or in a virtual courtroom, that's my favorite part about practicing law. The emotions that my clients feel at the beginning of the relationship, anxiety, stress, anger sometimes. Generally, when someone comes to me with a dispute, it's because they have a right, some kind of claim, and they need support in pursuing that right and establishing that claim. A lot of emotions are involved in that process. Again, stress, anxiety, anger. But at the end of the process, when you have resolved a dispute and come to a solution that is acceptable for your client, it can range from happiness to most of the times relief. It's a stressful process, and to help your client get through that process and see the light on the other side, it makes a huge difference, and sometimes they're fundamentally almost different people at the end of the process. Something I would like my clients to know about me at the beginning of the lawyer-client relationship is what they can expect is a very balanced and holistic approach. I pride myself on taking a look at a case from the beginning, from as many angles as possible. Balance, what I want to do is ensure that I know before I take a course of action why we are doing it and what benefit it is going to bring to their case. A holistic approach insofar as I want to look at a case from as many angles as possible from the outset so that I know how we can come to a solution quickly without spending all of the client's money in the process. A case I remember that reminds me of why I became a lawyer was a woman came to me because she had just been sued by her daughter's landlord. There was a fire in her daughter's unit, and lo and behold, a few weeks later, she got sued. Ultimately, I was only involved in the case for a few weeks because at the outset, I took a look at the evidence, I took a look at the facts, what claim was being made. And I got in touch with her home insurer, and after a few days of negotiation, her insurer took it off her hands, and she was able to, take a sigh of relief and know that she had the proper support in that process and that she wasn't by herself. So a few weeks later, I got a very nice email, her letting me know that she was very, very happy that I was there to point her in the right direction. Something that's interesting and maybe a little bit quirky about me is that in a previous life, I used to do a lot of musical theater. So I certainly credit that as kind of triggering my desire to be up in front of an audience. And I think that has helped me to make arguments in front of judges before.